Hello.
Hi.
This
Hi.
is Calark and Marleb's How's it going, bro?
Podcast. And we've got a guest today, whenever you're watching this. It's Tessa Papadopoulus. Introducing Tessa Papadopoulus. Hello.
Woohoo! Happy to be here.
Yeah, so how's it going, Caleb, bro?
Oh, it's pretty bad.
What's going on, man? Like, seems
Yeah,
good.
no, I met Tessa.
Oh no,
You go.
sounds horrible, bro. I met her too. She's pretty
She's
cool.
pretty amazing. Just like me.
Yeah, you're pretty fucking cool. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like you guys. I think you're both really amazing.
I think we're all pretty cool.
That's really sweet, man.
So it's going amazing. Like, how are you going, Tessa?
Excellent.
Excellent.
I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm
It's
good.
good to be happy. I'm
Yeah.
also feeling very happy.
That's good.
How is it going?
It's going fucking great the last few days, man. But I've also been on diazepam,
Yeah.
which is Valium,
Mm.
which is hard to get, and I
Have you-
got it.
Have
Oh,
you
no, I'm not
stopped
an addict out there trying to get Valium. I was fucking not handling life that well, you know. I spent a night in the psych ward a few weeks ago, just not sleeping. Went and saw this doctor. Yeah, I want to tell you guys about this. I went to the hospital on, when did I go, Caleb? What's
You
today?
should
What
introduce
is?
Teresa as well, the cat.
Oh, this is
This is
Harissa. I call her Harissa. Is it a her? Is it a hura?
It's a her.
It's a her, Harissa.
This
She's
is
Like the
Marissa.
spice.
She's going pretty crazy in that little
She's
Teresa.
wild. She's quite a wild
fucking
cat.
cool, eh? I like her.
We like her. She's
Yeah,
nice.
I love cats. I also love dogs, but I like how dogs are loyal.
Yeah, I
but
love
cats
general
are,
animals.
I like how cats
This is
aren't
Harissa.
loyal.
See,
They're
this
just
is-
their own little masters.
She's come out.
But they're pretty.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
back in.
They just do what they want, like
Look at
humans. And I respect
She's
that.
crazy.
I respect you, Harissa.
I'm sorry to cut
She
you
ain't
off.
got no boss.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, you know, I feel fucking great, but I've been on Valium. I was on it for 3 days. I'm going to call it diazepam because that's what they call it. But man, I went to the hospital on Sunday morning.
Mm.
Yeah, and I, like, by myself, I just drove myself in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, I was here like last week, you know, I spent a night in the psych ward. I'm still not sleeping that good. I don't want to take these funny aripiprazole Sandoz, and I don't want to take urolanzapine. And, you know, yeah, and they were like, okay, we'll just get you to see someone. And this doctor called Andy came out, and, you know, I sat down with him, and he's like, so Mark, like, you know, we don't have much records of you. And I was like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, well, this is the, like, actual hospital. This isn't the psych ward people. Like, I'm Dr. Andy.
Yeah.
Let's call him that.
Dr.
Dr. Andy.
Dr. Andy.
Dr. Andy was like, so what, you know, like, how's it going, man? And I was like, you know, I'm good. I have work at 3 o'clock today, and I really need to sleep, man. Like, I had half an hour sleep last night, an hour and a half before. Not doing, like, you know, any uppers or anything. I'm trying my best, man. I'm feeling okay, but I don't want to slip. He's like, okay, so what do you want to do about it? And I was like, man, I want diazepam. I know how that sounds. I know it seems like I'm an addict coming in here, but I know it's going to help. And he's like, well, you know, okay, Mark, are you doing any drugs lately? And I was like, well, I've been doing quite a bit of mushrooms, man. You know, they've been around. And he's like, oh, okay. It was the best experience I've actually had with a doctor in a hospital. And it was at the Nelson Hospital, and I'm going to call this guy Dr. Andy. And I love him. He said, oh, well, you know, mushrooms are, you know, being researched right now for therapeutical use in, like, depression and, you know, mental health stuff. And, like, as long as you're not taking too much, that's probably not a bad thing. How are they making you feel? And I was like, really good. Just not sleeping, man. So, you know, I'm not here asking for a lifetime prescription of Valium. I just want to go to sleep. Can I get some sleep, man? I'm trying to help myself, you know. I've got a very supportive boss. His son has his own mental issues, and he's, you know... Yeah, and he gave me Valium. He talked to me about how, you know, maybe I should microdose on mushrooms.
Yeah.
That's really
And I was like,
Yeah,
and I was
great.
like, fuck, man, this has
Nice.
actually been, like, the best experience. I basically walked out of there like, I love you, man, feeling great. Went to the doctors, got 10 pills of Valium, taken them over 3 days. Might have given one to a friend who might have halved it with her friend. it's a great drug. It's just super addictive. Like I'm like coming off it today, but man,
Yeah.
I'm better. I've been sleeping.
It's also good that you like took yourself there and you were like, "Hey, I need this. Can you give me a hand? I'm here."
Yeah, like I'm kind of just reaching out everywhere. I'm really, like drugs, man. Drugs. Let's talk about drugs just for a sec. There's so many drugs, and psilocybin's a drug. And I've had quite a bit of psilocybin over the last couple of weeks, let's say. You shouldn't trip too much, but I'm not sitting there eating fucking heaps at a time. I'll have a few and feel a bit funny, and have a few more and feel a bit funnier. And the other night I had a lot, and I felt really funny, and my room turned into this little kingdom, man. And it was just great. Yeah. I had a really, really bad acid trip a year and a half ago. I shat my pants on acid. I was tripping really well for like 2 hours watching Rick and Morty with my ex-partner who I was with. And I've done acid a lot. I like LSD, great drug. Done a tab. We had another tab like left, and she was like, "Should we have another half?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess so." She's like, "Because it would be fun." It was fun. Had another half. It was about an hour and a half into that, man, where I don't like. I was probably 3 hours into my trip, and I'm going to describe this like really quickly, but I went elsewhere. I was watching Rick and Morty, and they like broke the fourth wall. You know how you can break the fourth wall, and when they did it, it was as if they broke the fifth wall at the same time. Yeah. Just you know how clever Rick and Morty is. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
And I thought, this fifth wall, sixth wall. How many walls are there? And as it happened, like everything sort of just like it was so psychedelic. Everything sort of melted away. I like went to talk to Anne, and as I spoke, all I heard was like, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't like communicate. My brain's melting. I can barely see anything. It's just I was like closing my eyes. It was even more visual.
Whoa,
and I had this like idea, like I'm gonna grab a pad and pen. Like, genius, I can write down what's happening to me. Like, I'm fucking out. Like, I'm really having this is the heaviest ever trip in my life. Salvia is a pretty fucking heavy, insane trip. Yeah. Mexican tripping weed, that was available in New Zealand for years. Man, you can go bonkers on that for 5 minutes. But anyway, I went bonkers I was gone for probably like 2 or 3 hours, so what I remember was I went to get the pen and papers, and I went like into the kitchen thinking like, this is where the pen and paper is. It lives here next to the fridge. I'm here now. I reached forward to get it, and I couldn't feel anything. And there were like, there wasn't pens and papers there, so I closed my eyes to try to like find it. And I don't really know what happened, but like I couldn't see anything. And then I remember like needing to poo. Because, like, it's just like a sensory overload. Yeah. So I, like, went down to the bathroom to poo. I sat down to poo. I don't think I did. I don't know what, like, I was really doing. I was probably just sitting there, like, melting. Yeah. And I got up, and I was walking back to the lounge with my pants around my ankles. Yeah. No, I think I had my pants up. I think I was, like, kind of still a bit composed in my mind at that point. Yeah. And I walked into the lounge, and I felt like I was pooing. So I'm like walking into the lounge, like pulling my pants down, like they're like now around my ankles, and I'm shitting like into my pants. Whoa. And my girlfriend at the time was obviously like, "What the fuck, Mark? What are you doing?" And I'm honestly just like like finding it, just like I couldn't really like, oh my god, like I'm filming on the floor, like in my pants, like oh my god, and it was just like like really like what the fuck, and then I was just a bit I went. What happened after that? Apparently, like, and, like, she tried to get me, like, cleaned up. She, like, tried to get me to the bathroom, tried to, like, undress me. And she did, like, when I came to 3 hours later, I was sitting in a robe in our room, like, against the wall, like, in a safe place. But anyway, that was 3 hours later. So, at this point, I went to this place where I was on the floor, like, this didn't happen. This is what happened for me. I was on the floor, like, banging and screaming, like, like just freaking out, and like, you know, she had called everyone like that was close to me. So there's like my bosses there, all my like close friends that live in the area there, and I'm like rolling around in my own shit on the floor screaming, realizing I'm having a fucking terrible acid trip. I'm probably going to go to the hospital. You know, I've been to the hospital already. I've got mental health issues, and now I've fucked myself with drugs.
Yeah.
Really bad, Mark. No one's going to respect you much for this anymore. Oh my God, ruined my life. Probably not going to have a job or relationship. You know, done it again, but this is horrific. So that's what's happening to me. And then I wasn't there anymore. Then I was in this really dirty place where like the whole house was covered in shit. And I realized like this is just a bad trip now. Like I don't know what's actually happening in the outside world, but I'm in like another realm. You know, and there's like, it was crazy. There was like people everywhere, like lighting things on fire, and I'm like, oh my God, the house is getting destroyed, like what's going on? And then I realized like I could smell shit, and I was like, holy fuck, like I've at least shat my pants, and I don't know what's happening. Like some of this could be real. I could be like in the psych ward right now.
Yeah.
And then I went to the poo kingdom, which was, I was sitting on a volcano of poo, like I was in a poo-cano. Thanks, Tessa. I was on a poo-cano, and there was like a big me. There was like me, like my age, like wearing nappies, like, and like it was like my dad, and I'm like me but baby form. And Anne said during this whole time I like reverted back to like a 2 or 3 year old. I was like crawling around, like, you know, pooing my pants on the floor at times, and just like not communicating at all, looking terrified and confused, and like I was like a baby.
Wow.
So in Poo Kingdom, I'm like this little baby, and my dad is trying to shit into his hand and feed it to me.
Ew.
There's nothing else to eat in this place, man.
But
There's
poo.
like, my view is like
That's horrible.
rivers of poo in the distance. The whole place smells like shit, man. I was there in my mind for way longer than I've lived my own life. I've truly thought I was in hell at a point. Like I was like, this is worse than hell. Like this is, you know, if you imagine what hell is, this is worse. This must be hell.
Fuck.
And I was there for a long, and I came out.
Yeah.
Way later. Way later.
A changed man.
Sitting in a robe. There's pooey clothes everywhere. I've got a big mess to clean up. I'm safe. Like, fucking congrats to her for not calling the ambulance, and thanks, Damo, man. Thank you so much for that support for her that night. But yeah, that happened. So I was real fucking scared of tripping. And it wasn't until New Year's I took like a little bit with a good friend, Gemma. And we had a fun time being bouncers at the beached whale. Yeah, and like, you know, I started to like tripping again. So I've been doing mushrooms. So I feel really good, and now the doctor's told me that's a good idea. And other than that, like, I'm completely me.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
You're not
people are
medicating
like,
every day.
people are like, stop driving that quad around real fast in Kaiteri, Mark. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But, you
Those
know.
things you can understand.
Yeah, of course. But I'm just having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, so that's how I'm going. Great.
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 Good.
Great. I feel like a very composed, manic, also. I feel like Mark. I've got it sussed now.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're feeling everything, which is probably just being you.
Yeah, I'm like really in tune with what. I'm not my thoughts.
No.
I'm like, I observe them, and I'm not even myself. I'm not my ego or myself. I don't identify with much. I'm basically like responding to what's happening with what I
You're like consciously responding.
what
to
I
what's going
choose to
on. Yeah.
what I choose to select about what thought I had about that thing. I can, you know, like choosing to do this properly. Like you can be yourself and stuff, but all this like ego and self and stuff. If I had a fucking ego that died in that poo kingdom, man, like that was a fucking ego death, but it wasn't. I just had a bad trip. It was such a bad trip. It was a drug-induced psychosis. That's what happened to me. I've had psychosis. I know that's what happened to me. Got lucky to get out of it.
Psychosis again?
A psychosis is a psychotic break from reality. So you will go completely delusional. You can have thoughts of grandeur. You'll hear voices. You might think you're God, the Antichrist. You will go psychotic.
You can tell when people like look in your eyes, like your friend can't look at you in the face. Their eyes are just like.
You lose your
just
mind.
not there.
And it's so real the way it feels that you go with it. Like the first time you go psychotic, man. Like I wanted to walk to Africa to get a horde to like march across the world, and just be free.
Yeah.
And I was going to do it with like 400 euros in my pocket. And about that, I was going to just like walk it.
Yeah.
That's psychotic, bro.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have made it. I didn't get out of the city, bro. I got put in a fucking psych ward, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just psychosis.
Yeah.
And I had a drug-induced psychosis. Fuck.
That happened
If I
easily
had not have
accident.
experienced a psychosis before that, man, I would have, like, it took me a good couple of weeks to psychologically process everything I'd, like, experienced that night.
Yeah.
But, like, if I hadn't had a psychosis before, I would have been a pretty fucking broken mess, felt super degraded. Been degraded before in hospitals, it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, that doesn't matter. That's just a
side.
Yeah, so on that's a side story. But tripping's not a... You don't go into tripping like drinking alcohol or smoking weed.
Right.
It's not like, this is going to be fun, I'm going to see stuff. When you start seeing stuff, you're thinking way differently. If your mind is looking at the fucking wall and there's a face in it, you're not going to be thinking the same about that wall when the face wasn't there. Like, that wall to me looks pretty fucking normal right now. It's a wall. But if there's a face staring back at me, I might be like, ooh, what's that face's expression like? Why is he looking a bit curious? And, you're not thinking... And things can get weird when you trip, man. Energies change and... Yeah, so just don't go into tripping or like, this is going to be fun.
Do it with the right mindset. Go into it with an intention.
Safe place, have a plan.
Set and setting. Who
You
are
even have
you?
a
What are
trip
you
sitter.
doing?
Trip sitters are real good.
Make a cozy environment.
Yeah.
Be comfortable. Have things you like.
None of us are on shrooms right now or anything, by the way. We're just drinking some tea. We've smoked a little bit of pot before.
Yeah, just tea and pot.
Teapot, alcohol.
But yeah, how's everybody going? Like, how are you going, Tessa? It's really nice to meet you. I've met you
super
not
nice
too
to
long
meet you.
ago, and yeah,
I'm going really good.
it's good.
I'm very content. Life's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, life's good. Territory is a great place. Great people.
Yeah,
Good place
it's
to
not
be.
bad either.
Good place to be.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It's hard to be unhappy here, eh?
No, it's good
It
for the
is.
soul.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Wake up, like, look at the beach and be like,
Here
this
I am.
this again.
This
Yeah.
view again, the same goddamn ocean.
Bill, I hate the wave sounds.
Wow, listen to those things.
Especially when it's an
Shut
easterly, man.
up.
When that easterly starts blowing and those waves go... Like...
You got that sound right on.
Thanks,
Right
man.
on.
I've heard waves before, eh?
Yeah.
Just a few times.
Especially those easterlies.
Do you guys want to talk about anything?
Nah. My current situation is great.
It's good.
Yeah.
You didn't talk about anything? No, I do. Real quickly, I want to talk about why I always go on about Gizmo the Gremlin. Properly, why.
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
I want to explain why it makes sense in my head and why I don't think there's an actual gremlin in my head and why, like, I really love the Gremlins movies. Fucking masterpieces. Steven Spielberg, the second one especially, like, Warner Bros. It's a great
I need to
thing.
watch the second one.
So Gizmo's a gremlin, and if he gets wet, he makes little other gremlins and they come out and they're all cute, and if they eat after midnight, they turn into monsters.
There's
So,
one of them there, man.
yeah, so
Look
this
at Wild
is Stripe.
Gremlin.
This is always this guy here, Stripe. He comes out of Gizmo and he torments Gizmo all the time. He's the worst one. He's turned. They usually start like little furballs. Because he's the leader, man. He leads all the other ones, and he's constantly fucking with Gizmo. And Gizmo's just like, Gizmo doesn't want to eat after midnight. He's good.
He's good.
And I think
ain't
there's
no
like
pig.
this. I think there's this
Cute.
like, but the actual mythology around gremlins is that they're these little fuckers. They haven't been around very long. It's like since like the early 1900s. Like they're They like aviation. They like to fuck with planes, like the Twilight Zone episode. There's something on the wing. There's something on the wing.
I know that.
Yeah,
The
that's,
Simpsons do like a version of that.
Yeah, like that's a gremlin. So they walk. You know, they like planes, and I go a bit nutty in my mind, guys. So I like to think there's realms between the world that if you like to sort of be in tune with what you like and sort of, I don't know, if you really get in touch with your mind, it's like you can go to other planes in your mind and in this world. Like we're in a realm and they talk about heaven and hell and whatnot and like nirvana and all these realms. And I like to think that a gremlin could walk between the realms. So I think there's this little thing called Gizmo inside me that's this mental little fucker. And he walks between the realms and he talks to me. And he really does. I just call him Gizmo. And I don't want to let him out because I have before, you know? But I also don't want to... I'd like to make gremlins, but I don't want them to be like cute little funny fucking mischief cunts that are just fucking like... There's heaps of gremlins out there. Gremlins are cool little creatures.
Yeah.
I know heaps. I work with cunts that are gremlins.
I always think of gremlins as people like real fucked up at the end of a night at a party, like
that's
like
exactly
get a real grimy.
Jess Beaver, man, that one
Jess
night, hey, you were
Fucking
such
Beaver,
a gremlin.
alright.
You were the biggest gremlin, except for my sister. I've seen her gremlin out hard, Alicia.
Getting a big.
I
We're
can
all
go pretty,
gremlins.
I can go pretty gremlin.
My gremlin form is Gizmo, and that's why I'm not mental. I'm not running around talking to the fucking street lights and stuff. You know, I might say something funny to them, but I don't mean it.
But it would be hilarious.
But Gizmo the Gremlin. That's what that's about. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about on this podcast.
Yeah,
not the actual bad, like, trips.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's... And, like, when I let Gizmo out, I feel like I can, like, rhyme a bit easy, like, when I'm writing and...
Yeah.
You know, and then I've got like
Get
bipolar
inspiration.
bear as well because I've been diagnosed with bipolar.
Yeah.
So when I'm in the mental hospital, I can act bipolar. So all of a sudden I can be a bipolar bear. So yeah, it's like Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, Eminem.
Everyone has masks. Everyone has their work, their
you
relationship,
have
their
characters
friends.
like Caleb, Calark, Marleb, Tessa.
Sometimes it's just like
Yes.
it's just like a protective layer of yourself.
You can-
Sometimes you only showed certain parts of yourself to certain people. You need like boundaries and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely, like people will give out fake names to if they don't trust the person, you know. Hey, what's your name, lady? Stacy.
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Oh, can I get your number, Jennifer Stacy?
Jennifer
Yeah,
Stacy.
sure.
No,
Yeah.
it's-
You ring it up and it's
Not Jennifer Stacy.
it's not Jennifer Stacy.
No, not at all. So it's Bob.
It's in Michelle. Bob.
Bob.
Hey, it's Bob.
It's
Yeah, not
Bob.
who I
Is
was
this just
expecting,
water?
but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What were you thinking it would be?
H2O.
Tea. I don't know.
There's some
Tea,
tea
could
there. Do you
also
want
be
some?
cold
It's
tea.
chamomile and honey.
Maybe later after
Okay.
this.
Cool.
Pretty good.
Pretty.
Pretty
Good.
You know, so life's pretty good. I hope life's pretty good for everyone.
Life's fucking great.
This
Woo!
is the 5th episode, guys. We are going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just having fun
Time
because
goes
I
on.
can. I want to live my life. I've been fucking contained, degraded. I've been strapped into an airplane and flown from Carnarvon Airport to Perth and then put in an ambulance and driven to Greylands Mental Hospital and kept there for 6 nights. But I've gone through some weird shit, you know, and like when I'm out I like to be a bit free. And man, they call it the funny farm for a reason. You wanna get funny, man. you go to the farm, man. And I've spent over half a year in those things. In 3 different countries. 8 or 9 different hospitals. Man, I'm alright. I fucking love who I am. I really
Good,
fucking
so
do.
you should. We should all find out that part of ourselves we love and love the fuck out
I
of it.
and it's so good, man. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to like break down because it's sleep.
Yeah.
We're machines. We're not machines. We're humans, or
Yeah.
whatever we are. Whatever you are. When something's not working, you turn it off and you turn it back on again. It's the first thing you do. Something fucks up.
Feel like you
Turn
can't
it off.
recharge the
Turn it back on
batteries.
again.
Yeah.
That's what sleeping is.
You gotta refill your car, man. It doesn't run forever.
Yeah,
Recharge.
exactly, man. Just
Power
turn
up.
the fucking thing off.
Power up.
Power up.
Power up. Ready to
Power
go
up.
again.
I'm all powered up, eh? They've
That's
pumped me
good.
full of lithium and all this shit.
Yeah.
I think I'm done. With this, unless you guys want to talk about stuff.
I'm done.
I'm done.
It was really nice to
Nice to podcast.
yeah,
Let's do it
and
again
to be here. Thank you, Tessa,
Thanks for
for
coming.
hosting.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
It's a lovely little.
it's a lovely
place.
little abode.
Thanks, Matilda, for the house shout out.
Matilda.
Yeah, have good people out
Yeah,
there.
that's nice.
I hope you have good people in your lives, guys.
We do. Woohoo.
Woohoo! Where's the rest to go with their house?
Stay safe. Live long.
Yeah, live long and
Live as
prosper.
long as
Love.
you can, as wonderfully as you can,
Live, love, laugh.
and don't
Be you.
don't conform.
Just be you.
Perform.
Perform.
Woohoo.
Yeah, perform, guys. Be on form, as big. Well, you know, be out of form as well. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.